Whenever you're starting a web project or a coding project of any kind, you want to make sure that you stay organized. Being organized is going to save time. It's going to help you to not be previewing the wrong files and moving things around and having missing links. We want to make sure that everything's in a nice place, that we always know where it is, and we're consistent in our file naming and our structure. So I'm going to show you some tricks and tips to help you stay organized and how we can work most efficiently while you're doing these HTML, CSS, and JavaScript projects. So one thing I do is make sure I put all of my stuff in the same folder to make sure that everything is consistent. So here you'll see I have my 487 work. So everything you're going to do in this class, I suggest you put it in one location. So go ahead and do that. Create a project folder that'll be for all of your projects. And this week you have an assignment called assignment 1. I've downloaded that and you'll see there's a bunch of files, but this is not the structure I tend to use. For most web projects, I want to make sure that I have subfolders that help me to stay more organized. So I'll use quick commands like Command Option N to create a new folder. And inside this folder, we're going to create, so inside assignment 1, I'm going to create images, styles, and JS for JavaScript. Now this project doesn't have, this assignment doesn't have JavaScript, but we do want to make sure we have all those folders. And then I'm going to move those into their proper folders. So anything that's an image will go there, and anything that's a style, a CSS sheet will go in your style sheet. So you typically only have your HTML is the top level there. So we have our index and then our images and styles. So that's one way we're going to stay organized, okay? We also want to make sure that we are using get, which we will explain later, to manage our code. That's not part of this assignment, but we'll get to that. And so here I have my screen set up so that we have the command line terminal is up. So this is kind of how I set things up. I have the folder structure, I have my command line, and then I have my browser. And then the other half of my screen is my coding window. Now, you may not have as much screen real estate as I do. I'm very thankful that I have a really large monitor, or maybe you have 2 monitors, but find a way to be able to see multiple things and to be able to preview quickly. One thing that you'll learn is Command Tab to switch between applications will be very helpful for you to be able to jump in and around those applications. So if you're using windows on top of each other, make sure you're Command Tabbing and don't use the mouse because that's a lot slower. For all of our coding, we're going to be using Atom. So you see I have Atom open here, and I'm going to close these windows. And I have my assignment, and you see the structure that I created over here automatically came in over here. So the way you do that is when you open Atom, you're going to just drag in the folder that you want, and it'll appear over here in your project window. So you can remove it, and you can manage things here. But essentially, I have the 487 work, and then you have assignment, and you can open, and you can manage your structure here. This will help you stay organized as well. I'm going to open both my index file and my CSS file. Opening 2 tabs is a great way for you to bounce from one to the other. And you can even open these into multiple panels because under view, you can set up different panes where you have one above the other, and you're able to kind of do different things with the window here for Atom, and that's up to you. I just like tabbing between them. I tend to like to move vertically up and down and scroll through it rather than have 2 things on top. So that's how I do it, but you can do it however you prefer. So you'll make changes here, and you make changes here, and then you're going to hit Command R. So you switch over to Chrome and hit Command R. What you'll learn is Command Tab and then Command R. So you'll finish something in Atom. You'll want to save your changes, switch applications, and preview it. So get used to using Command S, Command Tab, Command R. So save, switch, refresh. Command R is refreshing the browser so you would see any changes. Okay. Also, don't forget, we need to be looking at our console to see any problems. So right now, when I made those folders, I've made some problems that are not going to work. So I'm going to hit Command Option J inside the browser, and it's going to open up my console log, and you might see problems and things that appear there. Okay, so there is one issue, but you can work through that. One of the things that we're going to do is make sure that our style sheet loads properly. So I am going to go ahead and go to my index. This goes in the href. Reference is what type of file it is. Href is your URL. So you would do styles/style.css. So now when I refresh this page, you'll notice that the margins came in. And so that's interpreting or rendering what you see inside styles, which has a container. So we know that the refresh worked and we have no errors coming in here. Okay. Had I mistyped that or left out that directory, now when I refresh it, I would have gotten an error, right? So I see my error, oh, wrong folder, wrong reference. Save, Command R, sorry, Command S, Command Tab, Command R. That's the way to be really quick with this. So go ahead and work on this assignment. Try to work through your organization. Make sure you're using key commands. Whenever you do something more than twice, figure out what the quick key is for it. How can you do that faster? And that will make you a faster, better programmer.